Everybody. Welcome to Cypha Sistas, the place where it's all things women and all things cannabis. This is our first episode, so y'all gonna have to bear with us a little bit while we figure out the ins and outs of how this is gonna go. But for those of you who don't know me, my name is Rachel Selah. I am a cannabis health and wellness coach. I'm a woman, duh. And I'm a super huge geek supporter, lover of cannabis and women being well and women flourishing and being their most amazing selves.
Amen.
And so Malika and I came together to create this platform to give us a space as women to talk about whatever the hell we want. Whatever we want. There is no topic that's off limits here as far as women, our experience as women. And also, of course, we're going to talk about all things cannabis, all the cool shit that we've been trying out during the week, products that we like, things that work for us, different ways that we use cannabis, because it's important for the world to see that, one, cannabis is not a drug.
It's not.
It's not a drug. It's a medicine. Two, Black women use cannabis
all the time.
We use cannabis and we are responsible. We are functioning. We aren't those stereotypes. And we need to end that and bring visibility to cannabis users, women who use cannabis, who are thebomb.com. So welcome. I'm going to hand it over to Malika. For those of us who are new to the platform, they may not know you. So go ahead.
Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Malika, and Sister Rachel Selah and I have been working together on trying to put together a podcast where we can talk about and come and talk about something that we're both very passionate about. I like talking about cannabis use in various ways. I actually have some honey in my tea right now. And I'm kind of using the little smoke detector thing that kind of gets rid of smoke, you know. So I'm trying different products and everything in order to bring it out to y'all, the culture. And let me know or let us know if there are any comments, concerns, questions. If you got suggestions about some things we should talk about or things we should try, don't hesitate to come on in the comments and shout us out.
Exactly. And just to let you know, we'll try to keep up as far as like what's happening in the chat, but we may not be able to see comments as they're happening. So forgive us. This is our first episode and we're still learning how to navigate everything. But
we got a way to do that. So we'll post it if we don't talk about
getting there.
Yes, we are.
So we're going to keep it going because it's not a long show, which I love. You know me. I love a good, concise chat. Keeping it brief. All right.
Straight to the point, honey.
Exactly. So today we're going to be talking about our hot topic first. So our hot topic, and it's something that I don't think any Black woman who's a cannabis user should just completely disregard or not have any knowledge of what's happening. And we're going to be talking about our sis Brittany Griner, who is still incarcerated for possession of cannabis in Russia.
Yes.
And has been sentenced, to, I believe, 10 years in prison, if I'm not mistaken.
It's 10 years. She got 10 years for breaking the law.
So, let's go. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on Brittany, Malika.
So, I kind of go both ways. You know what I mean? As a world traveler, I've been to some places that I know are not necessarily pro-American. Mm-hmm. And personally, I would never take that chance just because I know how people think when they're not pro-American. And these are regular countries. These are countries like Russia and France and things like that. I would say if you're traveling, you have to follow the guidelines and the law, especially being a person of color, because it's not like we've got the backing of the full American government to come chasing in after us. You know what I mean? So just by being a traveling sister, you take a risk anyway, being out there. And then to be on top of that, and I get it, you were playing over there and you were comfortable with the situation, but we all knew we were going to have this Russian issue. I mean, we all kind of saw it kind of coming, right? Because Russia, if you've been following headlines and things like that, you see that this type of stuff is about to happen.
Exactly.
And it's unfortunate that, you know, in the country that she was in, she wasn't even following the current times to know that there was going to be a little bit of instability over there.
Right.
You know, and
Right.
so while I feel like she's being used as an example, and I feel like they are exploiting her, um, I do feel like she put herself in a situation where she kind of got screwed, and she took a chance that maybe she shouldn't have taken. That's my opinion.
So I hear you. And I think like everyone pretty much is singing that same thought line, same along the same vein. And I completely, in regards to definitely, she shouldn't have taken it there. But I also feel like maybe she had already done this plenty of times because it doesn't, I mean, I'm thinking she played ball over there, you know what I'm saying, other times.
She had.
And perhaps they were just, you know, this was the time for her not to do it, that she got away with it previously and thought she could, you know what I'm saying? Because
Like, how many times can you rob a bank before you stop?
that part. Needless
Right?
to say, I feel very the way the part of it that really just doesn't sit with me, I guess, is the fact that she's being used as some type of pawn. You know what I mean? And it just goes back to it's always this way with us as Black women. You feel me?
But if we know that, why do we make the missteps in order to allow them to catch us slipping? You know what I mean? Like,
I know, but dang, you feel me? That's kind of sad because
she got 10 years for a pen.
Mistakes and to be it's to be human. Like, it's just sad. Like, we could talk about the fact that we don't have the luxury to make mistakes.
We
like,
don't, and we never have.
And that's fucking stressful as fuck. And that's probably why she had that pen.
Yeah,
and that's probably why she bought the pen with her.
Because
Russia is stressing her out like a mug. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. Yeah, I mean,
maybe she really really needed that. We don't know her mental state. You feel me? We don't know why she was willing to risk it all.
Well,
her cannabis, because it's not an addictive substance, but it is a substance that makes your quality of life way better. Way better. So I get it. I definitely get it. I guess my stance is like I feel for her. Like, I would never want to be in her shoes, and I would never don't want that for anyone. Like, that's tough, man. That's tough.
Consider her family.
She's not even locked in America. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody ain't coming to visit her at the Kremlin. It's not going down.
I mean, but sis knew that.
Everybody always says that, but like,
I mean, there is no way she didn't.
We don't have no that's definitely a big problem amongst our people. I
have compassion for
empathy. We ain't got it. We ain't got it. And it's real sad. That's all. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm
gonna say something. I think.
Wait, let me say something. Right? It's so ingrained in us that we don't even notice it. All right. I'm gonna give you an example. Right? Let's talk about a mother and a daughter. Right? This is just real quick off topic, but it's an analogy. Mother and daughter. Daughter and mother, they kind of cool. They lie. Daughter has a baby, a little girl just like her. Daughter grows up and start giving her mother sass and back talking issues, just like the daughter did to her mother prior, right? What is the mother's response going to be?
Man, times are hard. Shit.
Hell, you lying.
I told you she was coming for you. I told you were going to have a child and she was going to come for your ass.
She's not going to have empathy and compassion to say, okay, one, maybe when I was parenting you, I wasn't really necessarily in the right place because it was my first time doing it.
No, I get that. I get that.
She's
And
not gonna
obviously,
say,
I
"I'm
wouldn't
gonna
say
have
that to my child.
compassion for you." Damn, baby, this is hard. I want to how can I help? You know, it's tough. I remember when you were younger. This is how I got through it. No, that's not the first reaction. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, we so quick to be like, that's your problem, that's your fault, that's what happened. Oh well, oh well, oh well.
Oh, well, is not necessarily the response. It's more, okay, so we're talking about the kid or we're talking about the Brittany run
We
years?
talking about Brittany too, but
Okay.
the attitude is just overall for me the same.
But
It's
the sad part about it is Brittany wouldn't be in this situation if she didn't break the law. Here's the issue. The issue is we have already been born with a target on our back by being black, right? So we got this target on our back whether we want it or not. It's there. It is there. Every time you get pulled over, every time when the cops pull you over, the first thing you're scared for nowadays is making sure that you can get home alive.
Yeah.
Okay, so her going over there and doing something like that in this day and time, she screwed herself. She did. She did a disservice to herself, and she did a disservice to black women on a level. Because you know what's going to happen now? Everybody's bag is going to get fucking checked. Everybody's bag is going to get checked, and they're going to be a little harder on us. We may be the ones going through, because, honestly, traveling on an international stage, there are not a lot of black Americans out there doing a lot of traveling when you're on an international stage. Not in some of the places like Brittany was going. No, not in Russia.
All right. Yeah, that's true. Except athletes. Athletes, yeah.
Athletes, yes. But I'm talking about just regular Joe Schmo people. Like we go to places that are more tropical. We go to places that are we ain't going to Russia. Who the fudge put Russia on their list? Nobody. We're not going there. And so because of that, she knew she went over there with a target on her back. She grew up in America. She knows.
Yeah.
Weed was just recently legalized. Cannabis just recently got legalized. So we can't be over there traveling internationally and carelessly having crap in our bag if we're not willing to pay the consequences.
And that's the bottom line of everyone. And that's just, yeah. Me, I've got to I'm just trying to fix my camera. For some reason it feels like not angled.
So look, while you fixing your camera, I'm gonna jump on the kid thing, right? Yes. I'm going to fucking laugh at my kid the moment her daughter gets sassy with her. And then I'm gonna help her with the situation. It's always been the plan. But I get a little bit of, man, you see how rough it was? Okay, now let's proceed.
That's fine, but that isn't what happens usually, and that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's not.
That's not what happens usually. The first part is what happens, and then the mom is like, "Well, that's your problem now. I'm gonna go do whatever."
But then nobody fixes the mistake, and the kids just keep going through the same vicious cycle. It's crazy,
and that's how you end generational curses.
Yeah,
by being that person who says, "I'm gonna change the behavior of the women in my family."
Yes, or at least try.
Try, exactly. Try, or at least try.
So, I mean, I got a follow-up question to that, right?
Go ahead.
So, do you think that the people that try ever typically really succeed?
To what?
To help it. So it seems
change. What do you mean to make changes?
Yeah. Because I see it as either you're way left or you're way right. Some parents try to be in the middle, but they still flop to either or side. You know what I mean? They can flop to either the more let them be free side, or they flop to the more let's be a little more stricter about the way shit happens.
So you're talking about like in terms of how I mother?
Not you. I'm just talking.
What you think about, like you're talking about in general? What
lessons learned? Okay, so let's say for instance, my grandfather learned lessons that he passed down to my mother. He may or may not have taken those lessons and passed them down to me, right? But let's say that she did the best she could. Let's say that her way in her mind was the better way. Okay, so let's say for instance, in my family, my grandfather was extremely strict. My mother on the flip side was extremely laxed, right? And so it was like it was either one extreme or the other. And so, with him being extremely lax in doing things the way that America has taught us things are supposed to be done,
Mm.
she hasn't lived the life, or she lived a better life than all of us, right? Because she had the opportunity to have a father who didn't value having kids. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say he didn't value having kids, but his goal was, I'm gonna take care of the kids I have. Her goal was, let me bring all these companions to her kids. And I'm just facetiously speaking on her behalf. You know, I may not even be talking about what, but that's what I saw growing up, right? So, boom, here we are now. And I resorted back to my grandfather's way of, I'm just going to have one kid. Because I know that it wasn't fun growing up with 9. It just wasn't fun. It was hard. It was hard. She had to do a lot of things she couldn't afford. So, I'm asking the question that like, where's the happy medium? And why don't we ever find that?
So I love that you talked about like how, you know, you decided to have one child because you grew up with so many siblings. On the flip side of that, I decided to have as well. I decided to I allowed myself to have a bigger.
You were blessed with.
Exactly. I was blessed with a bigger family and was happy to have and grow a bigger family because I saw the beauty in that. For me, the kids weren't the problem. It was the lack of responsibility and uh, just overall. The word is leaving me right now.
Okay.
But just
the companionship and stuff that we shared.
No, I'm talking about in the place of the parents.
Yes.
The lack of responsibility and concern, that was the problem. And so I said to myself, as an adult, I'm going to be everything that they weren't.
Okay. And I think most people try that, right?
And I try my best. I falter at times, but that's the biggest thing is when you make a mistake, do you act like you don't make mistakes, or do you acknowledge your mistake and correct yourself and be a human being? And realize that your children are human beings just like you.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a fine line you got to cross, right?
Yeah.
That's a fine line because it's like, you know, am I admitting that I'm a horrible parent and saying this, or am I acknowledging that there was no book, there was no Bible to how to be a parent? I did the fucking best I could. I did what I could.
And so did our parents. And I'm not going to comment on that or go on a tangent because that's not.
No, but they did what they could with what they had. As far as, at least in that is the belief, and that's what I'm gonna stand by. What they had, they used.
And that's that.
And that's that.
That is that. So
yes,
let's talk about that. Is a great segue into today's topic. So just to explain how Sister Cypha works, and so that you know what we're going to be talking about, usually we will be talking about mainly 4 different topics along the lines of just life as a woman. Sorry, it sounds like I'm saying women, but I'm saying woman. I don't know why. So we're talking about mental health. We're talking about like marriage and relationships. We're talking about physical health. And we're talking about sisterhood and friendships. Right? Because relationships, when I say marriage and relationships, I'm mainly concerned with those carnal relationships and not those platonic relationships. So today's cycle episode is going to be on mental health. And more specifically, we're talking about the topic of stress and how it affects us and how we cope with it, and how we navigate it, and how we are, as Black women, are the main recipients of stress. Not caused by ourselves, by the way, but that's neither here nor there, is it?
No, actually, I would say that is here, because I won't say we're the main recipients of stress, because other people will say, "Nah, we get it too." But I think that we get it at no fault of our own.
Okay, yeah, and that's what I'm gonna go with historically. There's the receipts, and the math is mathing for.
Oh no, we stressed out in a mug.
All right,
but we get it from no fault of our own. A lot of the stuff is outside influences and things that create this additional stress, and it's hard to deal with because a lot of stuff is
out of our own.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
fucking legacy. I'm sorry, and I hope I'm allowed to curse here. And
Hey, man, me on YouTube.
if y'all, I'm sorry, but it's a legacy,
Yeah.
and it's an unfortunate legacy, and it's one that I don't want any part of. I don't know about y'all, but I want no parts of it. I would like a stress-free, soft, drama-free life. I mean, I understand, like Christ said, it's gonna be trials all day long, and you have to count it all joy, and that's where I am. That's what I'm trying to do. You feel me?
And you're right. You're right, because as people of color, as women of color, we have additional stressors. And again, like I said, there are stresses that we don't bring upon ourselves, but these are predetermined stereotypes that we're
Let's talk about
associated
them.
with.
Let's talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
bring them. What? Give me some examples that you of predetermined stressors that are, we'll call them
Well, predetermined.
let's
I
call
said
them legacy
predetermined.
stressors.
Go ahead. So I said predetermined stereotypes.
Oh,
And I,
okay.
and I meant, like, like we're always going to be the angry black woman when we go up to the counter. So it's like as soon as we get up there, people are already ready to tell us no, and they've already got an excuse for us and why they don't want to help us. And it's a stressful situation, because it's like, some of the poorest people in the community are the ones being taxed the most with fees and things like that, because y'all tack on everything you fucking can on us, in addition to making us feel like shit while we standing there. So that's a stressor, right? Having somebody follow you around the freaking store when you probably make more money or pay more money in taxes than the little person that's following you is making. And yet still they following you around like you got to steal some little $5 item out their beauty supply shop. Yeah, I'm coming for y'all. Um, let's talk about, like, there are so many stressors. Let's talk about the fact that we've got to train our kids in a certain way to interact with the cops. Like, we've got to teach our boys to kind of put your head down. You're a man, but you still got to kind of put your head down because I want you to come home alive. Like, these are things that are just, and these are things that are weighing on our backs. The fact that they look at us and they automatically assume by our names that we don't deserve the job. Or the fact that by when they look at us and they see our application for credit, they usually give us the highest interest rates. Let's look at all the disparities of what's happening in this country, and then we can probably start to talk about stressors, but I don't think we're going to cover the surface tonight.
I don't think so either, but I'll be honest. I got to be that person because I'm sure someone else is going to say it when they watch this. A lot of the things you were saying are mostly aren't synonymous specifically to Black women, but more specifically to Black people.
Yeah.
So,
but we get it worse than the men, because at least on some level they've portrayed the man as being like an aggressor, and so they may not come for them as much as when they shit on us.
I will say that we're the least protected.
Yes.
Like, there is no sense of feeling
safe.
All right, yeah, like, all right, I'll say it. Like, to juxtapose a white man and a white woman to a Black man and a Black woman, right? That white lady, she knows she Gucci. She don't even gotta know that white why.
Nope.
If she say that Black man next to that Black woman smiled at her or, accosted her, immediately, it's all protection for her.
Yeah.
But if the sister now turn around and say that white man was inappropriate or did something,
there's an investigation.
First thing they're going to say is, well, what did you do?
What were you wearing?
Yeah. What did you say to him? Did you ... You feel me? So, like, all right, legacy stressor, being hypersexualized from a young age. And when I say that, it's like putting you into a sexual gaze when you're a child and there's nothing sexy or sexual about you.
Yeah, like those pants that I used to forget.
That way.
Yeah.
You don't even see yourself that way as a young lady, as a little girl. You know what I'm saying? That's a legacy stressor. That's something I feel is specifically done to Black girls.
So give me examples of what do you see done to them?
And all right, so if you go to like when I was growing up, or even just more recently when I was buying clothes for my daughters, right?
Mm-hmm.
The clothes that are sold to little black girls are very grown.
Extremely.
Okay. What do people say to little girls all the time? She thinks she grown. And the little girl don't even think she grown. You know what I'm saying? Doing stuff that if she was a little white girl, it wouldn't be no problem. Doing her little makeup, putting on like people telling you you can't wear red nail polish when you're a little kid because it implies that you. That's why I'm so ferocious and fierce about wearing red lipstick and red nail polish, because they would not let me wear that at all. Like, I'm all right, fine, no red lipstick because I'm a kid, but like red nail polish and red fingernails, and toes, like I feel like that was just so extra. And I promise you, I'm not the only little girl that had this
No, I'm
experience.
sure, but I never experienced that.
Black little
Yeah.
girl, I hear this story all the time because it's if you have that on, you're considered fast.
Really?
Yeah, hell yes.
Okay. See, I've never been in that part. So it may depend on where you've lived in the world and in different
places. It might be. But were you like the little girl who liked to put on lipstick?
Well, I'm a tomboy anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. But if I had decided, I don't recall anybody trying to stop me. If I decided on those days that I decided that I wanted to paint my nails or whatever. Now, I may not have ever chosen red because I don't care for the color. So that may have been the reason too. You know what I mean? Because I've always loved blue since I was a kid because it's a sapphire and it's.
I feel you.
So honestly, yeah, I don't.
It's just an example of people's mindset around black women, black women's bodies, little black girls' bodies, little black girls. We're not another legacy stressor. We don't have the luxury of self-identifying.
What do you mean?
Like, I gotta figure out how I want to say this.
Well, you think of that, and I'm gonna come back to this black stressor about the way kids are being called fast and stuff.
So okay, go ahead.
But yeah, so I think what I did as a cautionary tale was I just didn't put like those clothes that used to have like princess on the hind parts and things like that. My daughter wasn't wearing that because I didn't see any reason to call attention to her little backside because she was 2 years old. So okay. I'm not gonna put a word across her hind curse a man out for reading it, because like how stupid do I sound, right? So yes. They do make clothes that are inappropriate for kids or things that I think that are currently inappropriate. And I think that, yes, a lot of young black people have been, or young black girls have been sexualized. But let's say this, they've always coveted us. They covet our bodies. They want to be us.
I get that.
And the sad part about it is.
There are studies.
Go ahead.
There are studies that show that people see black girls as older than they are.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like they will put a 5-year-old little black girl next to a 5-year-old little white girl, and they'll be like, "Oh, she's 10."
For a 5-year-old?
For the black girl. I've seen the studies,
but that's because they're so conditioned to take advantage of us at such a young age. We weren't considered human until just recently. I mean, when we do the research, we weren't considered human until just about 100 years ago.
I'm not laughing I'm laughing because it's ludicrous.
Okay? Yeah, and so back then they looked at those little girls because those little girls have been looked at sexually their whole life. Their whole lives they've been looked at sexually. Yeah. And so and that's just the culture of how they look at us.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we don't help all the time.
But we're talking about the effects. I feel like I don't think it's like we don't help. Our bodies are the way they are. When I was 12 and I hit puberty, my breast went from being an A cup to a double D. Do you know how traumatic that was for me?
What I mean when I say we don't help is I mean like putting those types of clothes on our children. Bikinis on a 2-year-old.
Of course, I agree.
Stuff like that is just that's encouraging.
Be wearing a baby should be wearing a damn string bikini. I mean, it's kind of cute, but no, like. Don't post it online. Just if you want to go to the beach with your baby and y'all have a good time, hey, do that. But what I'm saying is like your life private. Keep that private. That's what you see a baby in her little scrapbook for her life when she's older.
And there are pedophiles out there that are taking your pictures off the internet and using them to masturbate too.
Ugh.
Let's just keep it a buck. So if you don't want your baby being that one,
this is going off the rails.
I mean,
let's bring it back to the rails. This trip off the rails was sponsored by the strain of the night, Gelato 35.
I got some ice cream cake over here, but yeah, baby.
So, stress, right?
Yeah.
Talk about ways that we cope with stress, because we can't even like tap the chip of ice off of it. We know we stress. We know we're collectively stressed. And this is not trauma porn. This is have a good time and shoot the shit and be joyful. So let's bring it up.
Yeah. So how do you deal with stress? I remember you had did something like 30 days of taking care of you, self-care.
You know it. So that's how I deal with stress. I take care of myself. I take care of myself very well. People say, but you're plus size. I was gonna say fat. I choose to be fat. Yep. This body, 6 children, is cushy. We love to hug it. And if I want to be skinny, do that. I promise you, my people who are fat shamers, my cholesterol, all that, my blood pressure, chef's kiss. Okay, I give my physicals every year, and this body is 6 human beings, 2 at one time. So back to what I was saying. Nah, because there be a lot of fat shaming people, and I don't even want nobody to be listening to this or watching this and thinking like, oh, she couldn't possibly be taking care of herself.
There are heavier people that take great care of themselves.
To differ. Yeah. But anyways, I don't want to seem like a Kanye and being egomaniacal, because that's not even what it's about. Because I'm not an egomaniac, guys. I'm a really nice person.
She is. So tell us about how you take care of yourself. Give us some examples.
So I was like, all right, having all of these children of mine is really hard to stay focused. It's hard to be as active as I would like to be, as far as like me. Because like, what else is there? So I decided to be intentional about taking care of myself, because it was like I would do like sparse things like, all right, I'm going to go get my nails done. I'm going to go get my hair done. But none of it was really scratching the surface of the stress bubble that was just always here weighing me down and stressing me the fuck out. Right. That's crazy. So I was like, nah, I had to really just hone it in, wrap it up, and focus. So I was like, all right, I'm going to take a month to do everything that I need to do to get myself back to a balanced space where yes, things are happening around me that are very stressful, but that shit is not causing me to be like this.
Yeah, it's not defining you. I like that.
Put my head up and I could still do everything I got to do no matter what's happening around me.
That's what's up, girl.
The way to do that was 30 straight days of taking care of myself. Bruh, that shit was the most intense experience of my life. And here's why. You start off doing all this cute, kitschy stuff, getting your nails done, giving yourself a facial, doing your hair. Then you realize, I haven't gone to the doctor in a long time. I got to do some doctor's appointments. Then it's a deep dive into yourself and what your needs are.
But you made it easy for everybody to be able to do something like
that. I did.
Tell us about it.
So I documented my experience, and I literally put it into an organized workbook.
Okay.
So it's a 30-day experience. You start at day one, you take notes, there's trackers. What else? I do have a coaching component for my 30-day program, but like I'm not really that's not what the Cypha Sistas is about. I'm not really like I'll plug it a little.
No, I get it, but I mean, look, it's about embracing and upbuilding sisters in general, right? So if we ever have guest hosts on there, I'm expecting them to plug their thing to let us know what they're doing out there in the world, right? So
all right.
what you're producing is something that can be helpful to somebody. So tell us about it. You know what I mean? And if it's not helpful, they'll pass on and keep moving.
All right. So back to me being a cannabis health and wellness coach. This all came from that experience of learning how to use cannabis as a tool for my mental health and for my physical health. So me learning that. Go ahead.
Let me plug one thing that goes to show we're not just potheads sitting around smoking. Like we've actually done some research. We've actually got some skill set behind what we're talking about here. So it behooves you to come and take a look at us sometimes. Sorry about that. I ain't mean to jump in, but you know.
Nah, you good. We definitely gonna be talking about really good products to use for, and we're gonna be bringing on experts, people who teach you about how cannabis and sex, cannabis and cancer, cannabis. Like there are so many elements, so many experiences that cannabis can enhance and treat. And I learned that, and so through all of that education, it made me realize like one, so many of us were using cannabis in that way, right? And when we use it that way, we smoke it, what I was just doing, and we smoke it using things that aren't necessarily good for our bodies, right? So that's where I really want to come in and give us better options, to not to take our cannabis away, but to give us better, more sustainable ways to use our cannabis so that we could really enjoy it, but not end up with, smoker's lung or crepe skin, or like I'm not vain, but I don't want to look like I'm older.
What is crepe skin, girl? You're gonna have to educate me on that one day. We're gonna have to make that a topic.
It's when your skin turns to crepe paper. It's like, I mean, it happens to older people. They lose the collagen and the elasticity in their skin, and smoking definitely contributes to that and makes it.
I need to get on a regimen. I'm making a note now. Fuck that. I ain't trying to. My skin.
I told you. Are you serious? I told you that was one of the main reasons why I was trying to stop smoking. So I'm gonna tell y'all though, and I always say this: I don't usually smoke. I've been smoking a lot lately because I'm transitioning and taking a break from my usual method because I have to give myself a tolerance break. So smoking is how I'm having a tolerance break. The break is that I'm not stopping completely using cannabis. I should, but it's a weaning process. Don't judge me. You gotta know.
I'm not judging you. Nobody's judging
you, okay? Plus, to be fair, I don't smoke all day long. So I smoke when I have a minute or two, and I usually hit my hitter. That little this little cone is just for the purposes of this show because we in a cypher right now.
And honestly, seriously, I be smoking all the time, so I ain't gonna say shit about that.
That's okay. People always, whenever I say that smoking isn't a sustainable habit, it's a fact. But people still kind of feel judged. And I promise y'all, I'm not judging y'all. The insustainability is in regards to me. I don't want to age the way that I know it will age me.
See, now you got me ready to put my about to light it. I had to pause. I was like, oh, crepe skin.
Don't do that. Smoke your spliff. And I mean, so, all right. So well, we can bring it back to self-care because I'll tell you what I do after I smoke. I made a face mist.
Okay.
So if I'm like in between things and I'm running around, I mist my face and wipe it with a paper towel and then remist it, and I'm Gucci. And I don't ever really wear my hair out when I'm smoking either because it's not good for your hair either. But I'm doing it because this is the look for the night. So,
So she gonna fuck up her hair for y'all.
right? No, because I'm gonna go in. I'm home, so I can fix this up. This can be remedied. A quick wash. You feel me?
So every Monday night she gonna be washing her hair.
No, because I'm not gonna have my hair like this next time.
Yeah, I keep a bun, girl. I keep a bun.
But that's a way you can take care of yourself and still, enjoy. If you want to be a smoker, because some people find it ritualistic and relaxing, as I do. It's a part of my morning ritual to get up and wake and bake. You feel me? So I get it. I really, really do. But I got to find a way to have what I want and still get what I need.
Yeah, no, I feel you. And I got to change some of my ways too, because back in the day, I used to be able to sing, or at least I thought I could, right? I can't sing a note no more. Shit. I be hurting in the shower, man. It hurts to try to hit it. Yeah, man.
I'm sorry.
And I watched the Celine Dion movie, and it just fucked my heart up, man.
That's Celine Dion. You was hearing them notes?
I couldn't. Yeah. Can't. No, wherever you are, I got to say it just like that. I got to say, I'm more of a Stevie Nicks type of chick now. I can keep up with the roster. Ooh, yeah.
Shoop,
That's where I am now. My voice is gone. But look, if anybody wants to obtain a copy of your joint or get that joint anywhere, is it available yet? Or
not currently. It's not currently published,
okay.
But I am offering a mini course on how to 5 ways to unlock a better night's sleep. It's a chapter in my workbook where we go through creating intentional ways to secure a good night's sleep. It's not about getting 8 hours of sleep. That's not what the body needs. What the body needs is, even if you have 4 solid hours of sleep, you could wake up feeling like $1 million versus 8 shitty hours of sleep, tossing, turning, waking up repeatedly. All that matters. Okay. All that matters.
I think we're gonna ask for step 1 next week, and if anybody else is interested, they could buy the chapter. It'll be like an infomercial. We joking while we smoking.
My biggest the foundation of my practice is showing people or partnering with people and teaching them how to be intentional about taking care of themselves. Okay. And that's literally all it is. It's just being intentional, saying that you're going to do something, having a goal, not just peripherally. Today I'll get my nails done, or I'll get to that doctor's appointment when I need to it, because that's the only time we take care of ourselves, when we're in crisis.
Yeah, that's facts.
But you don't even ever have to go to crisis. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like with a car, right? Keeping that maintenance up,
Exactly.
Oil put in.
We maintain everything but ourselves, bro.
That's crazy.
And I promise you, the problem is that we don't know how to take care of ourselves. We don't know.
So I'm hoping we can talk a lot about more of that, because I think that's what our people are going to be interested in. You know what I mean?
I hope so.
Yeah.
One thing I'll tell you, I love telling people about that. I am so passionate about self-care. It's so fucking essential. It's, oh my goodness. It's why I'm able to show up the way that I can. It's because I take care of myself. I really do. I really do, in real and lasting ways that make sense. And it's not what people think it is. That's what the crazy thing is. You know what I'm saying? But this is not enough time to talk about it. That's why I don't even want to go down that vortex.
No, I think if we just chip off a little bit at a time, then we'll do okay. then we'll do okay, because people can take notes and things like that, and they can come back and view this a little bit later. So they'll be able to come back, see what we talked about, kind of get some notes if they wanted to, find out some good information. Because I think we've made some good points here. Hey, established in 87. Shout out to the sisters. Shout out to you too.
Hey. Thanks for watching.
Yes, much appreciated, man. Much appreciated, family. Welcome to the family.
That brother came to support the sisters.
That's always a blessing. That is always a blessing. And if y'all got any questions out y'all want to find out about sisters, just let us know. We'll come through for you.
Or any topics for real.
Yeah, man.
Chat and comment on later on this, after you watch it. If there's anything that you want to talk about, seriously, no topic is off. I mean, with respect though, we don't tolerate disrespect, and we not disrespecting nobody. So don't come with the whack, because it'll just be ignored. No trolls, none of that BS. We don't play that.
We just go delete you and keep on fucking moving.
Exactly. It's all love here, and that's what we came here for, sisterhood.
That's what's up. Yeah. So shout back out to you, established in 87.
That's what's up. Exactly. Shoot, what was I gonna say?
So I think, like you were going, self-care is definitely important with dealing with your mental stress, right? Because if you start taking care of yourself,
nothing to do with that, but yes.
Yeah.
That's one thing about us doing this. I think that I may not really smoke. I think I'm gonna just make sure I have like honey or something.
We still live, man, but that's
cool. I mean, we shooting the shit. That's what this is what happens in a cypher.
That's true. That's true.
And laugh. That's why it's called this. This shit is real. It's not
it's some real shit. Yeah.
Yeah. This is not no plastic stuff. I came on here to be. We
so I'll tell you, I had my honey and I had a backup plan, a refill. So
I know you did.
Keep going, man. So I'm feeling good in the neighborhood.
I didn't make any honey this week because I miss it though. That's what I had to test. That's what I'm doing. I'm really just testing how much it's benefiting me versus is this the placebo thing?
Yeah.
So I will tell you, ever since I've taken a break from my honey, I haven't had like a decent night's sleep. I mean, it's okay because
you have not had, or you have had.
I usually sleep like I sleep all the way through the night if I've had my honey. Okay. So like if I wake up, I could fall right back asleep. I don't have like the way my brain is, I don't fall right back asleep at night if I wake up. I'll wake all the way up. It's like a computer. It turns back on, so you got to go through all the clicks, turn it off, turn the tab, close the tab, turn it off, all of that. So when I have my honey, that does not happen.
Huh.
It doesn't turn back on. I open my eyes, go do whatever my physical body wants me to do, and go right the fuck back to sleep. And I love it.
See?
That's what I thought Ambien would do. And it never did that for me.
I wake up every night throughout the night.
It didn't even put me to sleep.
Yeah. No, I wake up every night throughout the night when I
Ambien didn't do nothing. I was like, oh, one time is enough. I don't even need this. I'll never take this again. I'll never take it again.
And with the dry mouth too, man, it's no fun.
Yeah. But yeah, that honey, it's the best thing that ever happened to me as far as sleep. Yeah. Because Mooney still sleeps with me. So that's why I keep on waking up. If I was sleeping by myself, that would never be a problem. But she keeps on, she want to cuddle. You know me, I don't cuddle.
And so basically, I use honey in a lot of stuff too. I use honey in my coffee. I use honey on my toast. I use honey in food. Anything that I'm mixing food with honey with, I'll use honey.
Nice.
So I think that it helps me a lot too, so I don't have to smoke as much. And so, I haven't coughed that much tonight. You know what I mean? Because I'm starting to slow down on that. So,
what's crazy?
What's up?
When you if you end up putting yourself like on a regimen of using the honey, it acts like as an expectorant, like when you first start using it, and it helps you get all of the like whatever you was gunking up your lungs with
out. Okay.
Is a benefit I didn't even know was gonna happen, but man, it cleared me cleared me out.
Yeah.
Every like clockwork. Every time the honey started to kick in, I would have like a coughing fit, coughing fit, coughing fit. And then after a certain point, it stopped happening.
It stopped happening, and you was good. Hey, maybe that's what's going on with my body. So that's a blessing. Because I
Yeah,
don't cough as much as I usually do, so I'm feeling kind of good about that. I cough throughout the day, but usually at night when I'm doing the show, I'm always hacking up a lung and everything. So,
oh, for real?
yeah, man, it's rough.
Dang.
It's
Yeah.
rough.
You might want to look into other ways to enjoy cannabis for real.
And there are so many ways out there, folks. I mean,
There are.
and if
There
you
are.
don't have a honey plug, shout out to us, and we may be able to put you in contact with somebody we know.
Exactly.
But
Also,
go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, not only putting the honey on like parfaits and stuff like that, because I realize like I'm not a big eater for some
Okay.
reason, especially since I stopped smoking.
Okay.
I don't get munchies like that
Like you used
anymore.
to. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I drink it. I turn it into like little different types of refreshers. Like I
Oh
like
yeah, you were telling me about that. I gotta
yeah.
try one of those. I
It's
gotta try
so
one.
oh my god. This time I did mango seltzer or
Okay.
I guess it's called seltzer. Is that what they call it? Seltzer, right?
Or seltzer water.
Yeah,
Is it
seltzer water.
water or seltzer?
Because they got so many fancy names.
I think
Buble.
it's seltzer water.
It was regular Food Lion seltzer. Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
I ain't bougie. Well,
Yeah.
yes, I am, but I didn't feel
It's
like
sparkling water with flavor.
exactly. It's regular flavored sparkling water. I did that with one of those ginger shots from Trader Joe's. Like
Okay.
ginger lemon cayenne
Okay.
and a tablespoon of honey mix, well, I don't have a shaker, a martini shaker. I want one of those. But I'm not a drinker for like alcoholic cocktails, so I would have one. But now that I'm making my own drinks, I'm like, yeah.
That's her way of saying stomp, stomp, hint, hint. My birthday's coming up in December, big sis. You gonna look out for me? I got you.
Or send it to the PO if anybody's listening and they want to buy a gift for your girl. You can send it to the PO box of the show, and I will use it to use it on the show to make one of my refreshers for y'all, so y'all can see the recipe. All right, that's something that can be done. But yeah, so I shook that up. Well, stirred it up. That's why I want to shake it because it'll be way faster. Because that honey is mad like sticky, and it takes forever to blend into the liquid. So you just stir. It's worth it.
Yeah. Okay.
Just definitely top that with some ice, girl. 15 minutes later, I was like,
See, she a mess.
ready to wind down for the night. That's how I wind down for the night every day. I miss my honey so much. This is ridiculous.
I wind down with my tea. Yep, I've got one with echinacea and ginger in it. Yeah, and some honey.
Take care of yourself.
Put
That's
me
right.
on out. Put me right on out.
Yeah, echinacea and ginger. That's a good one.
Yeah.
And ginger's awesome. I love ginger.
Oh, isn't it? Oh my God, ginger's the best.
Spicy, so nice.
Yeah. I started drinking soda again. Now I'm drinking that Bold Canada Dry though.
Yeah, now you know what you need to do? Reed's ginger beer.
I've had Reed's ginger beer, but man, $5. It's like $6 for like 4 little bottles, man.
No, they got a ginger ale, and it's just as bold as Canada Dry, and they have a 12-pack, and it's like $5 something at Walmart.
Okay.
You're welcome, Walmart.
Yeah.
And Reed's.
Shout out to all the people we shouting out.
You feel me? I ain't getting sponsored for this. Hilarious.
Well, Walmart will never sponsor it because it's cannabis related.
I know. What to drink when you're thirsty from being high? Nah.
Ginger beer.
I do love ginger beer though.
Yeah.
That's why I make my own, and that's my next thing I'm gonna try to make like real ginger beer but infused
with cannabis. Okay, that's what's up.
I'm really into cannabis infused drinks because I'm not a big eater these days.
Well, I mean, you've already started giving out recipes. I'm sure the fans will be waiting for more.
I should post put it in the thing. If anybody asks, then I will put it. I'll put it because I don't mind. Because you gotta buy the honey to get it, and we do have a plug if y'all like we said, just inbox Malika and she'll show you to the place. So it's looking like that time, and as y'all can see, your girl is done. Your girl is done. My eyes are quite red.
Yeah, it was a great Cypha Sister.
Definitely a really good Cypha. We look forward to you guys joining us next week, and hopefully our other sister will be joining the Cypha, so that'll be bigger. And maybe we'll get maybe 2 more of my sisters. We don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, and if there are any fans out there that really think that they could chill with our vibe, I mean, we're welcome to
come through. Let us know.
Yeah.
Just a message. You are always welcome to come join the Cypha. Come sit with us.
Yeah.
Let's have a light it up. Get our tea, get our honey, get our tincture. Let's talk about all things womanhood, all things cannabis.
Yes.
And you can follow me on social media at Rachel Sayla 826 on Instagram, or at Rachel Sayla on, what's my handle on Facebook? I don't even remember. That's terrible. Hold on. I'm about to tell you.
Lord. You can follow me as the Malika.
These are the bad side effects of cannabis.
And you can follow
stereotype. I'm sorry.
And you can follow me at the Malika Nia at Instagram.
Okay, so my TikTok and Facebook handle are exactly the same, and they are at Rachel Sayla, and Instagram is at Rachel Sayla 826. So follow me if you want, so you can learn more about intentional self-care, learn more tips and tricks. Well, not really. I used to post stuff about cannabis, but I'll be honest with you, there's already a lot of content out there. So if you guys if you ever need to know more things about cannabis, please inbox me and I will lead you to the right person. And if you need a one-on-one, definitely hit me up on social, where I just gave y'all. I do have websites, but there's no time for me to plug all this stuff. So next time I'll be sober at the beginning of the episode.
Oh, Lord. All right, so y'all heard her. Slide through the DM. For those who will be watching after this show airs, thank you. Please leave comments, and thank you for everybody that hung out with us tonight. Good night, everybody.
Wait, real quick. I am sober minded. Don't play with me. You still could be cannabis user and be sober minded. All right.
They got that, babe.
All right, y'all. Love y'all.